Welcome to Mobile Rolling. After the break, it'll be my pleasure to be interviewing someone who's been the most booed at, the most applauded, the coolest 91-year-old, the most travelled harness racing trotting driver in Australia, but everybody else just knows him as the Superman of the Sulky. It's my pleasure to be talking to the Superman of the Sulky. Good morning, Max. Max Evans, how are you?
How are you, Gary?
Very well.
Thanks very much for this interview.
Lovely to have you on. We'll start from the start and we'll keep going. We could be here for hours, but we'll try to cut it down as much as we can. Now, I know a little bit about you. You were born in 1931, which makes you 91 this year, or you are 91?
I am 91 last week.
Last week. Happy birthday for that.
Thank you very much.
91 candles would have caused a fire. But
I couldn't have blew them all out.
now, you were born in Mildura, Max?
Yeah, Mildura Hospital.
Yep.
My parents lived on a vineyard over at Kumialla then.
Over the
river, and it's now Denton.
So did they live over in New South Wales? Or
yeah, New South Wales and Denton, which is Denton now. And I grew up there for the first part of my life. I had a pony when I was 2.5. He used to drive bareback around the block. And I remember when I was 5 and 6, I was champion boy rider at Mildura, under 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well then.
So what did your parents do there, Max?
Yeah, well, when I was 7 years old, my parents sold the vineyard and moved to Melbourne into the hotel business.
Okay.
Well. So
were you an only child? Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I had 2 brothers.
2 brothers?
And I lost one of them. We lost one of them when he was 17 years old with leukemia.
Oh, okay.
It's terrible.
So were you the youngest, oldest, or in the middle?
I was the oldest.
You're the oldest, you're the leader. Were you also the smallest, Max, or?
Yes.
You were?
Well, when I matriculated to Melbourne Grammar, I was 17 and I was 5.5 stone. My ambition was to be a jockey.
Yeah, and what happened there?
Family. They sent me to the family doctor, and he did a bone structure and said I'd end up about 9.5 stone, so that buggered that, excuse the expression.
So you worked in, they had a pub, you said, so what did they do? What did you do there?
A big pub. Well, when I was at that stage, 17, I couldn't do much. I was very immature. I'd been in boarding school for nearly 10 years.
Where was that? Where was the boarding school?
Melbourne Grammar School. I went to Melbourne Grammar College.
So.
All the boys went there, right? And so when they sent me to Melbourne Grammar, it was pretty hard as young, right? But you got in the habit of it, and I bought myself another pony, a Palomino pony, and put her in Rotha Spears stable on the edge of the Botanical Gardens in Melbourne, because that was near the school.
So this was between the ages of 6 when you was in Mildura to say you were 17. So you had horses in that time?
No. I come from Mildura when I was 7.
Yeah, right.
And I went to Melbourne Grammar when I was 10.
Till when?
Till I was 17.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So between 10 and 17, you had how many horses did you have?
I only had the one, and I had a Palomino pony, and I used to hate the equestrian things. I used to like jumping and flag and barrel race and all that bullshit.
Yeah, a bit of action.
Yeah, a bit of action. Yeah. Well, being at the hotel, I was spoiled rotten. I got to admit.
Is that why you put the weight on? Too many pies and pastries and cakes?
Well, when I was in Macau, in my life, when I was in Macau, I went back down to 9 stone because I was working so hard. Yeah, but over there, I'm about 10 now. But I always had a life you'd dream about out of a storybook. Because I was too young and too immature to work in a hotel. I could help.
So you worked in the hotel with them. What did you do there?
Well, originally when I was young, I used to count the money or cash, do all the tills.
And books and
books
bit
and
of
that.
Bookwork, yeah.
But then I had all freedom.
So how long? So you were from 17 till say the next 5 to 10 years. What did your life entail? Did they still have the hotel? Did you get out, or what did you do?
No. We always had the hotel, right? So they still had. I left. What? All right, I'll tell you exactly what happened. Well, I'm telling you, I had a lot of free time. Right. So, horses were always a part of my life, my main part of my life. So, when I left Melbourne Grammar, I sold my Palomino pony and bought a ex-thoroughbred racehorse. And I joined Fendon and Oakland's hunt clubs, and I followed them for 2 or 3 years.
So you rode in the hunts and that, did you, over the logs and all that stuff?
Yes, and then I rode at their point-to-point meetings.
Meetings, yeah.
And amateur race meetings. And then that hunter, it's amazing because I had him stable up at South Morang with Johnny Carson. He was a famous amateur jockey, old jockey. And he said, this horse can gallop. And I said, all right. I said, we'll train him. So I rode him around Moonee Valley steeplechase in 2 public steeplechase courses, trials, and he qualified.
Was this on the flat or over the jumps?
Over the jumps.
You rode him?
Yeah, twice around Moonee Valley, right?
That was training you for harness racing later on in life.
I've been driving all over the countryside, over brick fences and wire fences.
Exactly, yeah. You thought it was easy?
Yeah, I thought it was easy, and he was a good jumper. You know, I'll stop here because I can tell you one thing. I would say I was a horseman when I come to Adelaide, right? There's a difference being a horseman riding a horse than there is being, I had nothing to do with trotting.
Sitting in the cart.
When you ride a horse, your heart's his heart, and you can...
Yeah, through the reins, etc.
Right. So I had to learn again.
So getting back to this bloke, did you start him?
No, he twigged the tendon. Just a little bit, so I didn't want to...
You would have had a bet too, Max, wouldn't you? Would you ever?
Well,
how old were you then?
I was 20.
So when did you first have a bet, Max? How old were you? Because if you was at the grammar school, you'd all bet there.
Yeah, you want to know?
Yeah, there was Mildura when you were 6.
There was an SP bookmaker at the grammar school.
Exactly.
And I remember I was at school, and just for the lurk, I had $40, £40. That's a lot of money when I was at, right?
Yeah.
With the SP bookmaker. And Dad had to pay, of course. And I never had any more bets until I come back to the hotel. But after that, I had it.
Well, I was lucky enough to go to Port Pirie High School.
Oh, yes.
And I learnt my craft. My maths teacher was, I call him Sir Robert Cronin, who still fields. And yes, I'm not saying I bet at school, but Robert was certainly, he made sure I passed my maths. And I could tell you 35 to 10, 7 to 2, 9 to 4, all that.
Well, you were educated into the hard world. Now, Robert Cronin was one of my best friends and a Confederate, because I used to drive at Pirie and Port Augusta, all those meetings.
Yeah.
And he was a lovely bloke.
Yeah, no, he's a good family. Yeah, lovely man. So you were, where were we now? We've been over the jumps.
I've been over the jumps.
How old were you then?
About 20.
20, yeah.
Yeah.
Still in the hotel?
Still in the hotel, and I was pottering around and learning the trade, right? Because
in the hotel trade or the horse trade?
Yeah, the hotel. No, the hotel trade. No, not the horse trade. I knew the horse trade. In the hotel trade was 6 o'clock closing, completely different than now.
Yep.
Was all, if you had a good beer, it was because you had a good cellar. So Dad was into all this thing works, and I learned everything, and I potted around in the hotel for about, I never worked properly in the hotel till I was 25. My brother died when I was 24, and then Dad said, you've got to start working in the building and business, so I started working full time. And then I managed the hotel with our family accountant while my parents sailed around the world for 8 months.
Okay.
And we had a staff of about 30 at a big hotel.
So whereabouts was the hotel to?
In Preston.
In Preston.
Yeah, just down from South Morang. So
is that hotel still there, Max?
Yeah. The building's still there. I went back to visit it, but there's no hotel there now. No. 6 o'clock closing was a guttural. It was a shocking line.
Yeah, well, I can remember when I was little in Port Pirie, I reckon I had more haircuts than anyone in Port Pirie, because the barber shop was 2 doors down from the pub that Dad used to drink at. And I'd go and get my hair cut, and 6 o'clock we'd go home.
Well, when you talk about 6 o'clock closing, that promoted Wavell in the old days, because everyone used to fall out of the tram or the train, into Wavell.
Yeah, exactly.
So half Wavell personnel was always packed, were trotting fanatics, and the other half were just
people that like to have a good time.
Good time. Yeah.
So when you run the hotel with you, did you say you run it with your brother? Did you?
No, with the accountant.
With the accountant. Sorry, your parents went away overseas
8
for a
months.
holiday. How long after that did you stay in the hotel, and then when did you move on?
When Dad came home, he built the first big beer garden, outdoor beer garden, held 200 people out the back.
Okay.
And then because women couldn't drink in the hotel in the early days, right? So then we could have a mixed out the back, and we had covered. But it used to sit about 220 people, I think, and he put me in charge of that. I had about when I had up to 6 waitresses, right? Because they were all seated, and there I met Freddie Hanlon. This is where I first interested in trotting. He owned Avian Derby when he won the Intermediate. Yeah, and he come in and he said, I believe you like horses. They were sitting there. They got a big property. He said, I got a big property up about 6 mile up the road or 7 mile up the road of South Morang. He said, why don't you come up and have a look at the horses? Well, he had a proper trotting track and everything. And also he introduced me to his niece who used to work for him. So from then on, I used to go to South Morang quite often. Not for the horses.
No, I think most of the viewers are reading the signals here, Maxie.
But I did get a country permit and had 2 drivers at the old Ararat track from 30 yards behind, just to say I drove a trot. Yeah, just to say. Anyway, I married when I was 27 years old. That was when I was 25. They went away, they come back at 26, they built all this, and I was working at the back. Anyway, I married the girl when I was 27.
Which girl's this, Max?
Maxine Hanlon.
Oh, so that was Denise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
I only ever had 2 girlfriends in my life. How's this?
That's a surprise.
How's this? When I was young, I only ever had 2 girlfriends. I used to be... when I left school, I'd go to a...
You were shy then, Max, were you?
You wouldn't believe. Now it's complete opposite when I get overseas.
No. Won't go there, Max, but I can sort of relate to that a bit. So you got married in what year?
When I was 27, so that was 58.
1958, right?
Yeah, and I moved out of the hotel.
Okay, what did you do then?
I bought a 5-day-a-week sandwich bar in Collingwood.
That's the days when you made a lot of money out of sandwich bars, didn't they?
Yeah, but I had a bigger. And I had a bigger one here later. I'll tell you. Well, then we had the first baby in '59, a girl. Yeah. And then the business was very good, but I was always a gambler, mate. I was a fool. I had 2 parts of my brain: very smart, bloody a dill. Excuse the expression. So I used to go to the 2-up games of a night, proper 2-up, big 2-up games, organised 2-up. So then we were working away there, and the wife's father, another Hanlon, lived here in Adelaide, and he got very sick. He lived on his own, so she wanted to come here, so that's how we come to Adelaide. Okay,
so when you obviously sold the sandwich bar, and you came to Adelaide. Why? What did you do when you come to Adelaide?
Well, I got to Adelaide about late '59, right?
Were you driving trotters at that stage, or you weren't?
I had 2 drives in Victoria.
Yeah,
that's but they were nothings.
So when you came here, did you get a job or not?
Straight away, I got a job at Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Yeah, because he lived in Southwark. It was just over the road, and I had to do something, and I had about 10,000 in my pocket, and I was trying to be good.
Are you looking for a 2-up game?
No, I was trying to be good.
Trying to be good?
Trying to be good, right? Now, it's very hard for me to be good.
So that's in 1959, so that made you 28.
Made me what?
1959, you said. You were born in 31.
31?
28?
No, I'm telling you, I was in 69.
69, so you were 38.
No, I was 30 when I got here. No,
okay, 30.
And
you're just trying to...
I'll come
and you've been trying...
I'm still... You can't add it up.
Yep, 31, so you've been trying ever
31
since.
And 59 is 40 as 30.
Okay, so you've been trying ever since to be good.
I give up. So
wait a sec, before we get to that, so you've just got to Adelaide, right?
Yep.
So what we'll do is we'll just have a little break, and then we'll come back and we'll start about your new life from shifting from Melbourne over to Adelaide, okay?
Excellent, and I'm finding it easier than I thought I would. Thank you.
Well done, Max.